post lasted only a few seconds on Instagram stories, but for millions of fans it became one of the most emotional Bruno Mars moments in recent memory. On Mother's Day, the global superstar quietly shared a vintage photo of his late mother, Bernadette San Pedro Bayot, paired with the classic soul track I'll Always Love My Mama by The Intruders. There was no long caption, no dramatic statement. Just a deeply personal memory that instantly sent fans into an emotional spiral online. Within minutes, screenshots of the story began spreading across X, TikTok, and fan pages across the United States. Many fans described the moment as heartbreaking, beautiful, and the most human side of Bruno Mars ever seen online. For an artist known for dazzling stadium performances, flashy showmanship, and non-stop charisma, the post revealed something entirely different: grief that never fully disappeared. The timing made the tribute even more powerful. Mother's Day in America has increasingly become a moment where celebrities share personal reflections about family, loss, and gratitude. But fans quickly noticed that Bruno Mars approached the day differently. Instead of posting polished family photos or promotional content, he chose an intimate memory connected to the woman many believe shaped his entire career. Bernadette San Pedro Bayot was more than Bruno's mother. She was one of the earliest influences in his musical life. Born in the Philippines before later moving to Hawaii, Bernadette worked as a singer and hula dancer while helping raise a family built around live entertainment. Long before sold-out arenas and Grammy Awards became part of Bruno's reality, music was already a daily experience inside their home. Industry insiders have often credited Bruno Mars' stage instincts to the environment his mother helped create. Music producer Rodney Jerkins once described Bruno as an artist raised around rhythm before he even understood the business. According to Jerkins, you can hear family influence in the way Bruno performs. There's warmth in it. There's joy in it. That usually starts at home. That emotional foundation became painfully important in 2013 when Bernadette died suddenly from a brain aneurysm at the age of 55. The loss devastated Bruno during one of the fastest rises in modern pop music. At the time, he was dominating radio, preparing major performances, and becoming one of the biggest names in entertainment. Yet behind the scenes, those close to him said the singer was struggling privately with grief. Over the years, Bruno Mars has rarely spoken publicly in great detail about that loss, but when he has, the comments have always carried visible emotion. During his 2014 Grammy acceptance speech, he looked upward and dedicated his award directly to his mother, saying, "Mom, I know you're watching." The moment became one of the most replayed speeches of the night because viewers could hear the pain in his voice. That history is exactly why this latest Mother's Day post struck such a powerful chord online. Fans didn't see it as a celebrity social media update. They saw it as a son continuing to carry the memory of his mother more than a decade after her death. Entertainment journalist Cara Mitchell said the emotional response reflects how audiences connect with authenticity today. Fans are surrounded by curated celebrity branding all day, Mitchell explained during a live-stream discussion Monday morning. When someone like Bruno Mars shares something raw and personal without trying to monetize it, people immediately feel the difference. Social media reactions exploded throughout the day. One viral post on X read, "Bruno Mars posting his mom for Mother's Day just shattered me." Another user wrote, "You can tell he still carries that loss every single day." TikTok creators began using the same Intruders song from Bruno's story while sharing memories of loved ones they had lost. The emotional reaction also introduced younger fans to the classic soul song itself. I'll Always Love My Mama, originally released in the 1970s by The Intruders, saw renewed streaming attention after Bruno's story circulated online. Music historian David Keller explained why the choice mattered. "That song has always represented unconditional gratitude toward mothers," Keller said. "For Bruno Mars to use it instead of a modern pop track tells you this was personal. It wasn't selected for trends, it was selected for meaning." Longtime fans also pointed out another detail that made the post especially emotional. Bruno reportedly carries photos of his mother with him while touring. Although the singer rarely discusses it publicly, stories about him keeping personal reminders of Bernadette backstage have circulated among fans for years. For many viewers, that detail changed the entire meaning of the Instagram story. The photo wasn't simply nostalgia. It symbolized continuity. Even while performing in front of tens of thousands of screaming fans around the world, Bruno Mars still keeps part of his mother close to him. Music critic Alan Reeves believes that emotional grounding may explain Bruno's unusually strong connection with live audiences. "There's a reason Bruno's concerts feel personal even in giant stadiums," Reeves said. "He performs with joy, but underneath it there's emotional memory. Audiences can feel sincerity when it's real. That sincerity has become increasingly valuable in today's entertainment landscape." In an era dominated by controversy-driven headlines, algorithm battles, and constant celebrity exposure, moments of quiet vulnerability often hit the hardest. Bruno Mars didn't announce a documentary. He didn't release a statement through a magazine. He shared a simple image and a song. Yet the emotional impact felt larger than many carefully planned celebrity campaigns. fans on YouTube quickly began creating tribute videos analyzing the post frame by frame. Some creators focused on Bruno's relationship with family. Others explored how grief shapes artists behind the scenes. Several videos discussing the story reached hundreds of thousands of views within hours, proving how deeply the moment resonated with audiences. One popular reaction channel described the post as the side of Bruno Mars fame can't hide. The host added, "No matter how famous someone becomes, losing a parent changes everything forever." The conversation surrounding the tribute also reopened discussions about Bruno's upbringing in Hawaii. Raised in Honolulu in a family filled with performers, Bruno learned entertainment at an incredibly young age. He famously performed as an Elvis Presley impersonator as a child, and spent years surrounded by musicians before entering mainstream pop. Friends of the family have often described Bernadette as a central force behind that artistic environment. She encouraged performance, creativity, and confidence long before record executives ever noticed her son. According to people who knew the family, music was never treated as a distant dream inside their home. It was part of everyday survival and identity. That background helps explain why Bruno Mars frequently incorporates old-school musical influences into modern hits. From funk and soul to R&B and Motown-inspired arrangements, his sound often reflects generations of music appreciation. Fans now believe his Mother's Day tribute offered another glimpse into those roots. Music writer Taylor Monroe believes the emotional reaction is tied to relatability. "Almost everyone understands missing someone important," Monroe explained. "When a superstar shares grief in such a quiet and honest way, people project their own memories into it." Emotional waves surrounding the story continued growing because Bruno himself never expanded on it. There was no follow-up explanation, no interview, no press release. That silence allowed fans to interpret the moment personally, making it feel even more intimate. Some viewers even compared the post to Bruno's emotional ballads, saying the Instagram story carried the same feeling as songs like "When I Was Your Man" or "Talking to the Moon." Those tracks have long connected with listeners because they center vulnerability rather than image. Public fascination with celebrity grief is not new, but experts say the Bruno Mars story felt different because it avoided spectacle. There was no visible attempt to gain sympathy or attention. The emotion appeared natural and understated. That authenticity became the story itself. Entertainment analyst Brooke Simmons described it this way: "People trust emotion more when it's quiet." Bruno didn't perform sadness for the internet. He simply shared a memory. Ironically, that made it more powerful than most public statements. By Monday afternoon, fan forums were flooded with stories from listeners describing how the post reminded them of their own mothers. Some shared childhood photos. Others discussed losing parents unexpectedly. The emotional ripple effect expanded far beyond the celebrity world. One fan wrote, "I opened Instagram expecting concert clips and ended up crying about my mom." Another commented, "This is why Bruno Mars stays loved. He never feels fake." Even outside fan communities, entertainment outlets quickly picked up the story because it reflected a broader shift in celebrity culture. Audiences increasingly value emotional honesty over manufactured perfection. And in that environment, Bruno's simple tribute became headline-worthy without needing controversy. There's also a symbolic element to the story that resonates deeply with longtime followers of Bruno Mars. Throughout his career, he has built a reputation around joy, celebration, dance, and energy. His music often creates escapism, but moments like this remind audiences that behind the polished performances is a man carrying personal pain like everyone else. That contrast may be exactly why the reaction became so intense. Fans are used to seeing Bruno Mars control massive stages with confidence and swagger. Seeing him honor his mother in such a vulnerable way revealed a quieter emotional reality beneath the superstar image. As the screenshots continue circulating online, many fans believe the post will remain one of the defining celebrity moments of this year's Mother's Day. Not because it was flashy, but because it felt real. And perhaps that is what made the story unforgettable. In an industry constantly demanding bigger headlines and louder moments, Bruno Mars managed to move millions of people with a single old photograph, a timeless soul song, and a reminder that some connections never disappear, even after loss, fame, and time change everything else.